Hi, big welcome everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. Please, you can put in the chat box if you can hear me clearly. You can hear me loud and clear. So, big welcome once again, everyone. You can put in the chat box also where you're joining from. Let's know. Oh, great. Thank you, Isabella. So please put in the chat box. Let's know where you're joining from. So, we have people joining us all over the world. So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is at your end. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah. All right. So big welcome. So let's just get straight into it. I'm not going to take much of your time. Okay. So Jennifer is joining from Ogbomoso, your state, Nigeria. Jude is joining from IB City. Isabella is joining from Kano. Wow, that's very far place from here, but good to have you regardless. Yeah, so guys, please feel free. Let us know where you're joining from, and you can just put in the chat box. All right, okay, thank you so much. So give me a moment. Let me share my screen. All right. Okay, let me just have the participants tab open here, so I can always add more people as they join. Oh, Mary is joining from Ibadan. Well, great. Good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. All right. Okay, great. So let's get straight into it. Come in, let me take time to share my screen. Okay, great. Yeah, so welcome to the 2023 TEF Drive. I'm currently sharing my slides. Please let me know if you can see it. Sharing the first page of my slide. It says 2023 TEF Drive, navigating the ELUMELU Foundation entrepreneurship application. So please, once again, let me know if you can see my screen clearly from at the chat box, or you can feel free to unmute and just let me know if you can see my screen clearly. Oh, great. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. Okay, so welcome once again. Today we're just going to be going through the TEF application processes. I'm also going to be sharing a lot from my own experience applying for the TEF program, and then also going to be answering your questions. I know during the registration process, you asked a number of people asked a number of questions, so I'm going to be attending to that question. And then I also have on the call Lumbi Milambo. She's a 2021 TEF Alumnus, and she's joining us here. And then hopefully at the end of the meeting, she gets to share experience. She's a great woman. She's doing a lot of work in providing safe and clean drinking water for people in rural Zimbabwe, and she's doing a great work. And she's joining us from the US, and to be glad to have her feedback and hear from her close to the end of the call. So Lumbi, hopefully we get to hear from you. Yeah, so let's get straight into it. My name is Precious. I come from a business background. Growing up, I got to help out in my parents' businesses at a very young age, and that basically just exposed me to a lot of entrepreneurship training. And based on the fact that I also got to run some small and medium scale businesses here and there, I got to learn a lot of business lessons. In 2016, I started like my professional career. I got to work with a tech startup that was then developing an AI application that helps to diagnose fake drugs. But in 2017, I really got a boost in my entrepreneurship career. That was when I received the Tony ELUMELU Foundation grant of $5,000. And I used the grant basically helped me to launch my edtech startup. And it came at the right time, like it came at the time when I really needed such. And I applied with an idea. And over time, I got quality training from the TEF program. And to date, I've been able to build this platform to reach over 4,000 users across 5 countries in Africa. So every year, every time I talk about the ELUMELU story, I just tell people that the ELUMELU story is not complete. That's my edtech startup. Is not complete without the involvement of TEF, basically. So it's getting the TEF grant for me was a life changer, and then it came at the right time. It came at the time when I really needed it. Right. So the TEF program is basically a 10 years program. It's a 10 years commitment program by Tony ELUMELU himself through the Tony ELUMELU Foundation. We're going to be talking more on that. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So what's the vision of TEF, right? TEF wants to equip African entrepreneurs. That's the big vision. They want to increase equip TEF entrepreneurs. And the philosophy of TEF, that's the Tony ELUMELU Foundation, is based on the principle of Africapitalism. That principle just means that if the private sector of Africa gets enough investment, if we focus investment on the private sector of Africa, then they can have the power, like the private sector has the ability to actually transform Africa, to increase economic and social wealth if they get the right investment. I mean, all of you here on the call right now, I'm sure you're doing fantastic stuff to develop Africa one way or the other. Either you're creating economic opportunities, either you're creating jobs, or you're providing social impact, or you're solving a problem. I mean, everyone on this call is one way or the other, driving a social impact. And that is what TEF is built upon. That's the philosophy of this fund. The TEF does not just want to, the plan is not just to give free money to people. The plan is to actually bring this dream to life, to bring this vision to life, and actually to prove that this philosophy is actually true. And that's the philosophy of Africapitalism, that if we give the private sector enough funding, they can actually transform Africa. That's the philosophy, basically. And that's what the foundation is built upon. So there are 7 major pillars of TEF. That's of the TEF program. So of course, if you get to go through whether you qualify for the seed funding or you don't, you get to at least benefit from about 60% of these pillars of TEF. So there's the 12-week business training. So once you get, I'm going to show you guys how to register and how to sign up for the program shortly. So, but once you sign up, once you log in and once you apply for the program, you get to go through 12 weeks business training. And trust me, it's a very, very good training for your business. Then you also have access to the TEF Connect. The TEF Connect is a Pan-African platform, basically. It's a platform of entrepreneurs across Africa. So you get to have access to the platform. You can get to interact with people in the platform. You can get to, you get to interact with them, you get to learn from them, you also get to share your ideas. Then there's the online mentoring too. You get to have a mentor to guide you through the application process and throughout the application. Then there's constant meetups in each hub. If you get into the program, there's constant meetups in different hubs. So there's the each state across Nigeria, for instance, have meetups. Yeah. Then there's also the Entrepreneurship Forum. The Entrepreneurship Forum has been discontinued due to the whole COVID case, the pandemic that escalated, but I'm sure there are plans to actually revive this and bring this back. And so the Entrepreneurship Forum is always fun because you get to have African entrepreneurs entrepreneurs all over Africa coming to Lagos for a 2 to 3 days forum. So it's always a great time to network and meet people. Then you also have the seed capital, the juicy part, right? You get to have access to $5,000 seed funding. And then you also have access to an alumni network. And TEF alumni network is very rich because literally you're getting to meet people all over Africa. So if you have, there are entrepreneurs who have been able to expand their businesses to other African countries by leveraging on the relationship they have with other TEF entrepreneurs in their cohorts. So it's a very good thing. If you can get into the program and get network with people. Yeah, so I talked about the program. The Tony ELUMELU Entrepreneurship Program is basically $100 million commitment by the Tony ELUMELU family. And so there's a commitment, right? And the plan is to empower African entrepreneurs over a 10-year period. So I think this is the 7th or 8th year, if I'm not mistaken. The program started 2015. Yeah. So, and it's ongoing, right? It's ongoing for the next 10 years. And who knows, it might actually continue after 10 years, right? Yeah. So, but I mean, you want to apply and you want to get in this time around. So, yeah, I'm going to come back right here to just talk about the preaching competitions criteria. But let's go through some infographics. Okay. Yeah. Welcome again, Lumbi. So let's just do some infographics. Let's go through some stuff. So top countries by application. This was 2021 data. So Nigeria, of course, due to the population of Nigeria has the highest number of applicants. And you can see followed by these other countries that are like the top 10 countries. Then agriculture. Agriculture is something about TEF is it's sector agnostic. That means whatever thing it is you're doing, you can get in, you can get the funding. And I always tell people that TEF is one of the easiest funding to actually apply for and get in Africa, basically. And that's just because it is sector agnostic. So whether you're doing agriculture, whether you're doing fashion, whether you're into tech or you're into circular economy, whatever sector you are, as far as your business can be linked to one of the SDGs, that's the Sustainable Development Goals, you can get the grant, you can get in, right? So that's one good thing about TEF, you can get in. So agriculture is, I tell people in agriculture, so if you're operating the agricultural space, we're operating the agricultural industry, you have a higher leverage to actually get the grant. And that's just because you can see right here that the agriculture sector takes the most of the funding. That just basically means that we have more people applying for the agri sector. It's not like they necessarily have the preference for the agri sector, right? Then followed by food and beverages, fashion, like I said, beauty and awareness. So wherever your industry is, you can get the funding, you can get it grant. Yeah. Then I also want to show you something before I move on. So you can see that the program fund businesses at different stage. You can see in 2021, they even funded more idea stage businesses, right, than businesses who had already started growing. So, because like I mentioned earlier, I applied with an idea, right? In 2017, when I applied with an idea. I hadn't built a website for my business then. I applied with an idea and I got in. So whether you have an idea or your business is ongoing, you can come in, you can get it funded, right? But of course, if there's something you can do to gain traction for your business, you should move on. You don't have to just wait till the whole 12 weeks of the training is over. If you can do something, there's something you can start with your business, you can go ahead for it. Then you can see the number of female applicants and beneficiaries over the years has increased, right? So I'm going to talk more on this shortly. So this is, so this is data for, I think I just moved too much, 2021. This is data for 2020, for 2019. You can see it is quite similar because Nigeria still have the highest number of applications. Sector by application, you can say agri is still taking the top and then followed by fashion. And then you can see the demographic, the gender demographic, and the year is 2015. So there's a slight improvement from 2015. There have been a slight improvement, but you can just still see that every year they take a lot of idea stage businesses and business who are seeing the market testing and prototype stage and even good business. So please, you are allowed to apply. And then you can see from 2015, there have been more female applicants. So this as of 2015 just 4%, but now 2021 was we had more female applicants. Yeah, so that's one good thing. Then these are impact stories from entrepreneurs. There's someone from Angola. This is an impact story from trying to get where these entrepreneurs from. Yeah, but this is from a 2018 TEF Alumnus, who's in the medicine space. This is from someone in Nigeria since 2015 alumni. This is Mama Money. Mama Money is currently making a lot of impact in the Nigerian space. This is also from someone, this is 2016 alumnus. She's into the water treatment, porous clean water, basically. That's what business is about in Rwanda. And this is from Lumbi Milambo, and we have the opportunity. Lumbi is currently on the call today. She's joining us. She's a 2021 TEF alumna, and let me just read out a review of TEF. So, Lumbi Melambo is the founder and CEO of JB Dondolo and the 2021 TEF alumna. What had initially started as a completion of her late father's work at a small clinic has since developed into a company that removes barriers of access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene in underserved and impoverished communities to reduce poverty and promote gender equity. Using water as a gateway to get women and girls out of poverty, Lumbi gives women and girls back their time so that they can attain new skills, education, and careers. And I get to work with Lumbi. It's a privilege, actually. And I can tell you that to date, since when she applied in 2021, to date, they've been able to serve over 100,000 people in rural Zimbabwe. And I mean, I'm sure she can point to TEF as being a platform actually that helped to sustain this growth. Yeah. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So this is the application process. To start with, you sign up on TEF Connect. You fill in your bio, you just fill in your name, phone number, little details about yourself. You need a valid ID card, a government issued ID card. It's very important. Either your NIN, your voter's card, or your country's passport, wherever, any government issued ID card, wherever African country you're training from. Yeah, and then there's a little personality and cognitive test that you get to take before you get access to the platform. So I'm just going to show a quick demo of how the platform works so that you can be encouraged to apply actually. So let me minimize this. All right, good. So once if you just loosely type TEF Connect on Google, the very first page that pops up is tefconnect.net. So you can either use tefconnect.net or tefconnect.com. It's going to take you to the same, it's going to redirect you to the same platform, right? So this is tefconnect.net, right, /home. So ideally what you have, I just signed in now with, but ideally, if I'm trying to admit more people, ideally what you have is a sign in and sign up option, right? So if you're a returning user, if you have applied before, you can just sign in, log in with your visual email address, and then start your application. But if this is your first time applying for the grant, you can click on the sign up, and it's very simple. Just fill in your name, phone number, password, and then you're done, right? But once you log in, for instance, this is a login page, right? This is login page. You can see there are a lot of things you can come back to explore later on. There are a lot of connections, tools, opportunities. You can come back and explore this later on. But where we're trying to focus our attention now is the application menu. So you log in or you sign up, and then you click on applications. So and then it loads. Okay, then it loads. Then you get to so this is TEF 2023. You can see a 2023 TEF flagship program right here, and then so it's in progress. That's because I've clicked on this before. So you just click on this, and then you select a language depending on the your country's official language or whichever one you're comfortable with. So click on English and click on next. So this is just a terms and condition. I encourage you to go through it, but I'm going to discuss I'm going to explain all of this while this training is going on. It's really simple, but you can just go through all of these to understand more about how the platform works. But there's nothing to worry about actually. And then you click on the accept button. So as soon as you're done, you click on the accept button. As soon as you're done, you will have a little personality and cognitive test. It's nothing to worry about. Trust me, very simple. 100% of people I know, pass the test, so you don't have to worry about it. It's very, very simple. So once you're done, you get access to so as soon as you're done with the cognitive test, you basically just have access to the 12 weeks training that I talked about. And so the application is currently on. It's launched on January 1st of January, and it's on to March 31st. Of course, I would always advise you to please apply early. It's very important. And I'm going to emphasize this as I go on with the presentation. Please apply early. It is very, very important. Apply early. You can apply right now, right after this course. Just go to tefconnect.net, sign up, create an account. You can fill your profile, put your name, put your ID, upload your ID. And you can do this within an hour. Fill the personality and cognitive test and get in so that you can know that you've secured your spot. You don't have to wait till the 31st. before you apply. So please apply. Yeah, so general advice, I apply with an idea, like I mentioned earlier. And again, please apply early. And then, for each stages, so you have about 3 major stages, right? So there's the general training. You have the general training. Then after the training, so the training has like about 8 to 9 modules. It might change this year. But after the training, then after each module, right, you get to do an assessment. It's very easy if you really go through the text and the training materials. So you get to do an assessment, and I would advise that you ensure that you score between 80% and 100% in each of the assessment per module, right? Because at the end of the training, they're going to do a short listing of the top scorers, the people who perform best, right? At the end of the assessment, 12 weeks assessment. Then after that, you have the business plan stage. So you get to work on a business plan. You get to you'll be assisted actually in developing a business plan. You'll be assisted in developing a business plan. There are a lot of resources and training there on the platform. So as soon as you're done developing your business plan, there's going to be another short listing. And then the last stage, the final stage, is the pitching stage, where you get to pitch your business. So you get to record yourself, do like a 2-minute video, and then you get to pitch your business. And after that, you get accepted into the program. So my advice is, for every of these stages, ensure that you submit early, because there are times when there might be a first come, first serve basis. So you want to bring your tools, you want to ensure that you're submitting. I mean, don't wait until the day of the or on the deadline for the assessment before you start taking your test and all of that. Because I mean, if you wait at the deadline, just like now, even if you wait a deadline before you apply, there might be a lot of people, so there might be so much traffic on their website, and you won't be able to apply successfully. So please do everything early. Take the assessment early enough. You can finish everything within a week, actually, or within 5 days. Take the assessment early. When it comes to the time to submit your business plan, ensure you submit on time. When it comes time to submit your business plan, ensure you submit on time. Then you can even start working on your business plan now. If you're still at the idea stage, you can start working on your business plan right now, right? You might even start working on your pitch. All you just need to do is, on the day you're submitting, you just need to do a review, right? So then female founders are encouraged to apply. Like I said, the number of female beneficiaries have increased over the years. And that's because a lot of organizations like Google, like the European Union, are giving TEF funding, right? So that they can be able to fund more people. Ideally, TEF selects 1,000 entrepreneurs every year. With a lot of private organizations, and they have a lot of public-private partnerships now, so that they are able to fund more people. And the main focus is actually on female founders, actually. So if you have a female co-founder, or you're a female founder, you're encouraged to apply. There are a lot of slots. There are more organizations giving and creating more slots for you now, giving TEF money, millions of dollars, right? So that they can be able to fund more female entrepreneurs. Then please ensure that your business has a social impact. You can research the SDGs, that's Sustainable Development Goals, and see which one your business is directly and indirectly advancing. But it's very, very important. Like I said, there's a philosophy of Africapitalism, the philosophy you're trying to build. We want to invest in the private sector of Africa, basically. We want the private sector to transform Africa. So your business must have an impact, right? As a TEF beneficiary, you are even expected to create jobs, right? There's a quota of the number of jobs expected to create. Yeah, then like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to mention it again. Make all your submissions early enough. Submit on time, right? Anything, submit on time. Then one more thing I didn't put here. Okay, so these are the SDGs. You can, after this call, you can go on to research about the SDGs and see how your business is directly advancing any of these SDGs. Then one other thing I did mention in the general advice section is, so TEF will require, if you get the funding, TEF will require you to to register your business, whether you're in Kenya, whether you're in Malawi. I think I saw someone joining from Malawi here. So whether you're in Kenya, whether you're in Kenya, you're in Malawi, wherever African country you are in, TEF would require you to have a registered business and a corporate account before you can receive any funding. So my advice would be, you can start your business registration now. And it's not even just for TEF. Whatever funding you're applying for, whatever grant applications you're applying to, a lot of grant bodies these days would require you to have a registered business, because nobody just wants to fund an individual. People want to fund people who are serious. So please, if you can start your business registration process now, it's good. Excuse me, because I think at the pitch stage, you might actually even be required to submit your business plan. It might be optional, but trust me, they would most likely consider people who have registered business and a corporate account, right? At sometimes when they might need to make some decisions. So my advice is start registering your business now. You can do it if you're in Nigeria, you can do a business name registration. I think that's very less expensive. Or you can, you can do that if you can afford limited liability. Then you can also open a corporate account. Ideally, TEF would require you to open a UBA. UBA is a partner, is TEF partner, right? Yeah, like under a similar body. So you can register your business now and get a corporate account at UBA. You can start that now because whatever happens, I mean, these are things that will be useful for you, right? Okay, so I've shared that, and then so questions. So I asked, I opened up a question box in the registration form. So I'm just going to be taking first. I'll start by taking the questions that came in from the registration. Then we're going to take more questions. Before we take more questions, I don't know if Lumbi is still on the call. I'm going to call her up shortly. Yeah. So questions. Someone asked, what makes one stand out, and what are they looking for in your application to qualify for the grants? Like I mentioned, the program is, okay, great, Lumbi. Yeah, so like I mentioned, the program is sector agnostic. So whatever sector you're in, you can apply. Whatever sector you're in, you can apply and you can get the funding. So, but like I said, there must be a social impact element to your business. You must be solving a problem. There must be a social impact. Yeah. When is the registration for 2023 commencing? Yeah, it has started. So go ahead and apply. Is there any YouTube channel on which this entire recording can be? Yeah, I'm going to be uploading. So I'm currently recording this. I hope I have your permission to. But I'm currently recording this session. So I'm going to be putting up on YouTube for you. Then need to know how to write a compelling business plan summary. Yeah. Like I said, there will be resources for you to learn how to develop your business plan. And then good news, I'm also working on an ebook that can help entrepreneurs like you, especially solo entrepreneurs, develop their business plan. I'm going to be sending details of that to everyone who registered your email. Yeah, so at this point, I'll call on Lumbi. But before I do that, I'm currently using I'm not using a premium account for this meeting. So this meeting might go up in the next 30 seconds. So I may need you to rejoin. I crave your indulgence, please. You might have to rejoin. So I shared the link already to your emails. So please, you might need to rejoin. And once we get back in, I'm going to call on Lumbi. And then, so like I mentioned earlier, Lumbi is a 2021 TEF alumnus.
Really, to start looking at registering your company, registering, getting a bank account, business account, and just start preparing your mind, your mindset to go into anything. You have to have that mindset that you're going to stay ahead of the game. The difficulty that I found was trying to, not being ahead of my game, because I was working full time and had a company of my own to run. It gets too busy and it becomes very stressful. So to avoid that stress, always be ahead of the game by just preparing ahead of and reading materials ahead, making sure that you read your modules and understand and take their assessments, which are very easy, by the way. The assessments have like 10 questions, very, very, very easy. Only if you read. You have to read so you can get at least an 80% passing score. Those are the difficulties I found. But also don't worry so much about the business plan itself, because like Precious said, there's training in this program on how to create your business plan. You're going to create a business summary and a business plan. So just focus on researching your idea, if it's an idea, and just research. A lot of people get into business without really researching on what they're doing. You really need to research and know more about your area, what you're getting into, and have passion for what you're doing as well. I do know myself that I'm passionate about what I do, providing water for women and girls so they get out of poverty and have a life, save them time so they can, earn skills, income earning skills and go to school. So what is your passion? Whatever your passion is, you still need to research, do your own research out there and align it to that the SDG goals, like the UN SDG, which stands for Sustainable Development Goals, that picture that Precious showed on the screen. Align your goals with that. Align your business mission, because that's what everybody's marching towards. All those 17 UN SDG goals solve a problem. So myself, I became a UN SDG goals ambassador, global SDG goals ambassador, because I wanted to understand more about all the goals and how they impact my business and how I can collaborate and incorporate those. So that's really what I can say in a nutshell about my experience, but it is fun. And you're gonna connect with other entrepreneurs. That's the biggest thing, by the way. Connect, and when you don't get that funding, don't drop out of those groups. Just building a business, you need those resources. Those groups are your buyers, maybe. They could be your clients, your customers. So stay within the group. Don't get discouraged and say, okay, I'm out. Stay within the groups and just, those are your connections. And just keep, following Tony ELUMELU. That's one other thing. Follow them on all the social media platforms. Comment on their posts. Share what they share. Reshare. That shows that you care about all these entrepreneurs building in Africa, because we're all building in Africa. We're all trying to make Africa a great place to live. So, what is your part? So you play a role by participating, whether you receive a grant or not. Just be a part of that ecosystem that builds a better Africa. So I can say this one thing, that if it wasn't because of Precious, your host today, I don't think I would have gotten a grant, because he's the one that helped me with my business pitch. He's the one. He worked with me. We crafted a script and a winning business pitch, which I was very proud to record. So I'm very grateful to Precious, and I'm also grateful that we continue to work together. That's one person that I can say that I met here at Tony ELUMELU, that we collaborated to grow our businesses. And he continues to coach so many entrepreneurs out there. Even after this, you may want to stay in touch with him, because you're going to need him through this journey. He's a person that you need to connect with, to grow your business, to get to have that opportunity to get funded as well. So thank you, Precious, for giving me the opportunity to speak. It's back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lumbi. Really grateful. Thank you for making our time out of your busy schedule to talk. And I should also mention, Lumbi is a United Nations Global Leadership awardee. And yes, she's doing great work. And it's a privilege to actually work with her. She's doing great work. So much accolades and so much great work and so much impact. Yeah, thank you so much, Lumbi. Yeah, so I think you've said a lot, and thank you for just, saying all this. Yeah, so like you mentioned, please apply early, submit your things early. So something happened last year, for instance. There was a first list of shortlisted entrepreneurs for the final stage. And then there was a buffer list. And even if you look through the terms and conditions, they actually promised that there might be a buffer list. But what happened was that the people that got into the list, into the second list, they were not prepared, basically. They were not expecting it, because their names were not in the first list. So a lot of them, when the buffer list came out, a lot of people had not registered their business plan. They were not, their business as a whole, they've not worked on their business, they were not prepared, and a lot of people missed out on the opportunity, right? So you want to be prepared. And this is not just about TEF, like Lumbi mentioned. It's not just about getting the funding. So over the last 5 years, I've had to apply for over 250 opportunities. And I can tell you that the TEF program actually helped me a lot. So registering your business, participating in the program, doing all of this is not just about TEF. It's about the it's also for the other grant opportunities that will come your way and that you're going to be a part of. Yeah. All right. So more questions. I think we have we can take more questions now. We have about 1 minute or two to take more questions. So if you have any question, you can put it in the chat, or you can also raise your hand, and then I'm going to just invite you to speak. Yeah, so if you have any question, please, you can raise your hand, or just put in the charts, trying to, yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to post a recording of this meeting on YouTube, so that if anyone who missed the recording, or you want to go back to some of these things, you'll be able to go back. Okay, so trying to look to the charts and trying to look at everyone. Okay, so no answers. All right, so I'm just going to close out. I hope this was impactful, and you guys got to learn a thing or two. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I hope this was impactful, and I hope everyone got to learn something. And I also hope you'll be applying it's good to be good to have you guys join the alumni community and get to just come. I mean, we need to build Africa, and like Lumbi said, all of this is to build Africa, to make Africa a better place. I mean, Africa spent billions of dollars importing products that could have been produced here. And what does that mean? That means that we have more people living in abject poverty. We have more unemployed youths. So if you guys join in, if you guys get the funding and you get to build your social enterprise, I mean, there's so much more. So this is not just about youth. This is for Africa. This is for everyone. All right. So on these notes, I will say thank you once again for coming. This is my email. I'm reachable. I think I use this email to send the invites, and with my Instagram, my LinkedIn. I'm open to connect with everyone and talk about it. So thank you so much for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, enjoy the rest of your morning. All right. Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.